Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island, a baffling artifact and a new tunnel keeps the team guessing. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the team was fired up after discovering an ancient ornate artifact, and the drill team continued to locate previously unexplored tunnels in the area of the garden shaft. After an action-packed start to Season 10, the Fellowship of the Dig seemed to be playing the waiting game for much of this episode. They are waiting for the Dumas Mining Company to excavate the garden shaft, and they're waiting for the Moon Technology sensors to return data so they can begin mapping under the surface of the island. In the meantime, the drill team is keeping themselves busy by attempting to track the course of a tunnel approximately 40 feet away from the garden shaft. But on last night's episode, they complicated matters by uncovering a second tunnel at a shallower elevation. Unfortunately, their progress has now been hampered by the moon detectors that are placed in the ground not far from the garden shaft. These sensors will not be finished collecting data for another few months, and the team can't risk damaging them by digging nearby. Rick and the guys came up with a compromise and picked a spot to dig that they felt was far away enough from the detectors and could still hit a tunnel. However, to the viewer, it looked a bit like a hopeful shot in the dark. Mysterious artifact is found on Lot 8 of Oak Island. Meanwhile, Gary Drayton and Jack Begley found an interesting artifact in Lot 8. The ornate artifact, which fitted comfortably in the palm of Gary's hand, was a flat object decorated with symbols on either side. The archaeology team, led by Laird Nevin, were baffled by the artifact, each stating that they had seen nothing like it before. The object went into the XRF machine, X-ray fluorescence, which concluded it was a copper alloy. The metallic makeup, coupled with the handmade markings, all suggested that this was a very old object. The CT scanner took over and cut through all the erosion to give the guys a clearer look, but the object remained a mystery. Expert suggests Oak Island find is a ceremonial object from Europe. The team drafted in Dr. Edwin Barnhart, an archaeologist and specialist in the Mayan civilization, to take a look. He too seemed a little baffled by the strange object and suggested he be allowed to study it in more detail. Barnhart did speculate that it could be a religious icon and was likely used in a ceremonial function. He also guessed from its metal composition that it probably did not come from the Americas, but was most likely European. The guys previously uncovered what they thought was a gemstone from a brooch on Lot 8. However, they were recently informed that it could have been from a Masonic ceremonial breastplate. Perhaps these two items are linked. Like so many episodes, this one had more questions than answers. On the plus side, the Dumas crew should have the garden shaft excavated in the next month or so, hopefully allowing the guys to finally get underground and into the money pit. The Curse of Oak Island has long fascinated treasure hunters and armchair explorers alike, with its enigmatic history and persistent legends of buried treasure. Nestled off the coast of Nova Scotia, this small island harbors secrets that have defied explanation for centuries. The allure of hidden riches and the mysteries buried beneath its surface continue to draw a dedicated team of adventurers, armed with modern technology and unyielding determination. Latest chapter in this enduring saga began with a discovery that seemed almost too good to be true. While excavating a new area of the island, the team unearthed a baffling artifact, an intricately carved stone that did not belong to any known civilization. The stone was covered in a series of symbols and glyphs that no one on the team could decipher. It was clear that this find could hold significant clues to the island's hidden treasures, but it also raised more questions than it answered. The artifact quickly became the focal point of their investigation. Experts were called in to examine the stone, each bringing their own theories and interpretations. Some believed it to be of Phoenician origin, suggesting that ancient seafarers had reached the shores of Oak Island long before Columbus. Others posited that the carvings were a form of cryptic shorthand used by secret societies, possibly linking the island's mysteries to the Knights Templar or the Freemasons. Debates were intense, but no consensus was reached, leaving the artifact an enigma wrapped in stone. As the team continued to ponder the artifact's origins, they made another startling discovery. During a routine survey of the island's topography, their ground-penetrating radar picked up an anomaly, a large tunnel-like structure buried deep beneath the surface. It appeared to extend in a direction not previously explored, suggesting a hidden network that could lead directly to the heart of the island's legendary treasure. Excitement buzzed through the team as they prepared to delve into this new subterranean passage. Equipped with advanced drilling equipment and remote-operated vehicles, they began their descent into the unknown. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The possibility of uncovering a treasure trove that had eluded seekers for generations was tantalizingly close. The initial forays into the tunnel revealed a construction that was both old and sophisticated. The walls were lined with meticulously placed stones, creating an arching structure that had withstood the test of time. As they ventured deeper, the air grew cooler, and the silence was broken only by the occasional drip of water echoing through the darkness. The sense of history was palpable, and every step felt like a journey back in time. One of the most intriguing aspects of the tunnel was its peculiar design. The passage twisted and turned in a seemingly erratic pattern, leading some team members to speculate that it had been deliberately constructed to confuse and deter intruders. There were numerous side passages and dead ends, as well as hidden traps that had to be carefully navigated. It became clear that whoever had built this tunnel had gone to great lengths to protect something of immense value. As days turned into weeks, the team's perseverance began to pay off. They uncovered several chambers connected to the main tunnel, each containing its own set of mysteries. In one chamber, they found a collection of ancient tools and artifacts, suggesting that the builders had left in haste, perhaps interrupted before they could complete their work. Another chamber held a series of wooden chests, their contents long since decayed, but the faint remnants of gold leaf hinted at the wealth they once contained. The most intriguing find, however, came from the deepest part of the tunnel. Here, the team discovered a large, sealed door, made of stone and reinforced with iron bands. The door was adorned with carvings similar to those on the artifact they had found earlier, indicating a connection between the two discoveries. Breaking through the door proved to be a formidable challenge, requiring both brute force and delicate precision to avoid triggering any potential traps. When the door finally gave way, what lay beyond took everyone's breath away. The chamber was vast, far larger than any they had encountered before. In the center stood a pedestal upon which rested a chest that seemed untouched by time. Surrounding the pedestal were more artifacts, jewelry, coins, and other treasures that glimmered in the light of their torches. It was a moment of triumph and validation, but also one of introspection. Despite the wealth they had uncovered, the greatest treasure might well be the knowledge and history the island had revealed. The carvings on the chest and the surrounding walls told a story. A tale of a lost civilization or a secret society that had gone to extraordinary lengths to protect their legacy. Each piece of the puzzle brought them closer to understanding the true nature of Oak Island's mysteries. The discovery of the tunnel and its treasures was a major breakthrough, but it also underscored the island's enduring enigma. Every answer seemed to spawn new questions, and the full scope of Oak Island's secrets remained elusive. The team knew that their journey was far from over. There were more tunnels to explore, more artifacts to uncover, and more history to unearth. As they emerged from the depths of the tunnel, weary but exhilarated, the team members shared a sense of camaraderie and purpose. They had made significant strides in unraveling the island's mysteries, yet they were acutely aware that much work lay ahead. The curse of Oak Island continued to weave its spell, drawing them back into its labyrinthine depths with the promise of discovery and the thrill of the unknown. In the end, it wasn't just the treasures or the artifacts that captivated them, but the story of the island itself, a story that spanned centuries and continents, shrouded in legend and intrigue. Oak Island remained a beacon for adventurers and dreamers, a place where history and mystery intertwined, and where the quest for knowledge was the greatest treasure of all.